Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's AEW Dark from August 16th, 2022, and it was recorded July 16th in Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida. So back to the stale month-old studio matches here after last week's arena show since it was a live Rampage last week. But first, we'll get into the review for this week's AEW with RJ City with special guest Taz. So this should be interesting with Taz just disbanding Team Taz, although he doesn't talk about that at all. So maybe that happened, or this was recorded before that. Anyway, Taz doesn't want to sit down for the interview, is in a bad mood, but he says he's in a good mood. Taz basically hates the name of the show. Every single episode's been bad. And then Taz yells at RJ about every single thing, and it's absolutely amazing. If you're a Taz fan, do not miss this week's episode of AEW. It might be my favorite episode of AEW ever because Taz is hilarious in there. Even the production staff in the background is laughing so hard. So just so many good lines in there. Definitely gonna have to go watch it for yourself. But let's get into this week's episode of AEW Dark, again from August 16th, 2022, recorded a month ago. So we've got a massive 13 match lineup tonight, and there better be something good in this nearly 90-minute show. So Taz and Excalibur on commentary. So, at the very least, it's going to be keeping you entertained because this is basically the weekly Taz and Excalibur podcast that just happens to feature matches in the background. So usually I'm fine with these dark shows. I think it's maybe just a combination of being spoiled with Dark recently, with Pac defending the All Atlantic title and stuff like that, which isn't on tonight, and then mixed with a little bit of feeling burned out from all the New Japan G1 Climax shows I've been watching and covering. But anyway, let's get in tonight, see what we can find. Um, Spoiler alert, though, I did end up liking this episode. This is a pretty good episode of Dark. So the first thing we see is Fuego del Sol coming out. He comes out with a 5-5 singles record in 2022, and we have not seen Fuego del Sol since he lost an 8-man tag match on Dynamite 6 weeks ago, where Fuego teamed up with Roughing It and lost to the Gun Club and the Acclaimed. I think that was where Gun Club turned on the Acclaimed after that match. So we then saw recently that Fuego turned down an offer to join the factory. So that's what he's been up to lately. We also saw Sammy Guevara use Fuego del Sol's outfit to come out as when he joined the Jericho Appreciation Society. And that particular outfit from Fuego del Sol hasn't been used ever since. So Fuego's been using a different colored outfit ever since then, which was a long time ago. So they're kind of playing it up that Sammy Guevara stole that from Fuego and never returned it. So his opponent is out next is Ari Davari, Trust Fund Ari Davari, accompanied by Trust Busters teammates here, Slim J and Parker Boudreaux. So no Sonny Kiss yet with them, as it would have spoiled Sonny Kiss joining them 4 weeks later, as we saw last Friday on Rampage. So at that same Rampage, Ari Davari lost in the main event against Orange Cassidy. So Daivari comes into this match with a singles record in 2022 of 2-1. The people he beat was Caleb Conley and Blake Christian, both on Dark. So this is going to be a warm-up match for Daivari as he prepares for the big trios tournament first round matchup this week on Rampage against Best Friends, the three of these guys. So, or although they might put Sonny Kiss in the match as well, substituting for someone. Anyway, Fuego gets wrist control to start this match. Daivari gets to the ropes. Then the Trustbusters talk some strategy with each other, and Daivari gets a headlock applied, then switches it to an armbar. Fuego's able to get out by flipping and then hitting a T. Harris. Fuego then keeps the legs wrapped around the neck for a submission hold, but Ari reverses it into a front face lock. Fuego then gets out and ends up on the apron, getting a head scissors takedown. Then Fuego hits a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Daivari then hits the throat to get back control and sends Fuego hard into the corner, but Fuego is able to counter a back body drop attempt. Then Fuego hits a drop kick, but Slim J pulls the leg here and distracts Fuego. Daivari uses this to hit a nasty running back elbow. That looked great. Fuego then shows some toughness, kicking out at 1, and that was a big shot. So good toughness by Fuego del Sol. Daivari then distracts the referee so that Slim J can take a cheap shot here, and Daivari applies a sleeper hold right after that. Fuego's not really able to get out right away, and he's fading fast, but then he fires up, getting back up to his feet, and Fuego strikes his way out, hitting a jawbreaker eventually. Fuego then flips out of a suplex attempt, and Fuego hits a nice neck breaker on Daivari. Fuego quickens the pace here with 2 flying back elbows, or elbow strikes, I should say, and then a kick combo. Daivari then sends Fuego to the apron, but Fuego applies a dragon sleeper across the ropes here. Fuego's getting a lot of good moves in this match. So Fuego then hits a middle rope stomp and almost wins the match, but Daivari is able to kick out. Daivari does look in a little bit of trouble, though, but Daivari counters the next attack, hitting a huge Uranagi slam right after that. Then Fuego's in a little bit of trouble now after that big slam. So any big attack from either men might win the match. Whoever gets the big shot next. Daivari's now looking to end it with a superplex, but Fuego blocks it, hitting another double stomp here. Fuego then hits a massive coast-to-coast drop kick. Did not expect to see a coast-to-coast drop kick tonight, but Fuego busting it out here. Daivari was in a tree of woe position when he got hit with the drop coast to coast. So Daivari's just barely able to kick out of this one. Fuego goes up to the top rope, but Parker Boudreaux pulls Daivari out of the ring, maybe saving the match here. So Fuego hits a top rope moonsault to the outside anyway, crushing Daivari on that one. So Slim J and Parker get into Fuego's face. This allows Daivari to throw Fuego into the ring post. Back in the ring now, Daivari hits his hammerlock lariat, then goes up to the top rope, hitting the flying carpet splash for the 1-2-3. Winner of this match by pinfall, Trust Fund, Ari Davari. So really good opening match here. Maybe a contender for match of the night. We'll have to see what they put in the main event if they can top this one. The main event definitely didn't top this one. I'm not sure if it's the match of the night, but it was a really, really good one. So I recommend watching this match. It's the opener, and it's only it's just over 10 minutes, so a pretty good lengthy match here. Before they leave, Tony Schiavone comes out, and the Trustbusters are still in the ring for an interview. So Daivari just basically says, "I told everybody in the wrestling world that my money, my investments that keep going up and up, is why I can purchase the best guys to have my back. We are the Trustbusters. Anyone that steps up to us will trust bust their butt." Which is a weird thing to say. So the segment ends at that. They're going to have to work on that catchphrase. I don't know about, you're going to bust what? All right. So next we hear that great music of the Renegade twins playing. If you haven't heard it, go check that out. It was released about 12 days ago on the AEW music page, YouTube. So this is going to be a singles match with Robyn Renegade, accompanied by her twin sister, Charlette. Not Charlotte, but Charlette. The Renegade twins here. So this time they have their hair matching, both up in the bun. Last time they had a match, they tried to use twin magic to switch spots, but one had their hair up and one had their hair down. So the referee knew right away. So they're still only 22 years old, still learning, and they are the prized pupils of QT Marshall, despite not being in the factory. But if the factory ever needs some backup in the women's division, QT would call them in. So Robyn Renegade comes into this match with a 2-8 record in 2022. Both of those wins were on Dark, one in a tag, one in a singles. So Robyn looks like she could kind of be twins with Dante Martin as well. It's kind of scary how they all three kind of look alike. Then the crowd goes absolutely wild next as Willow Nightingale comes out with her great music as well. Willow has a 2022 record of 5-6 and is improving each and every match, also getting bigger and bigger reactions from the crowd as well. So Willow Nightingale is definitely well on her way to becoming a star, and a spot just opened up on the roster, which is unfortunate for Chris Statlander, who tore the ACL in her good knee, not the one she already tore before. So now she's going to have 2 knee braces and then be out for like 8 months at least. Poor Chris Statlander. She was just about to be launched to the stratosphere. But Willow Nightingale could take that spot that Chris Statlander just vacated, unfortunately, with her ACL tear. So Willow Nightingale's definitely more popular than a few people on the roster already. I would say maybe Ruby Soho and Skye Blue, but she's well on their way to becoming just as popular as some of the most established stars that AEW has: Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm, Athena, Hikaru Shida, and Riho. So Willow Nightingale is going to be in the discussion for top babyface at a point here really soon. So Charlette then makes me laugh out loud as she's going out of the ring. She mocks Willow Nightingale being so happy and cheerful all the time, and this made me laugh out loud. And it was awesome because it was awesome. It was like totally in the background. So I'll give QT Marshall some credit that he definitely teaches his students that the camera, you never know when the camera's on you. So don't just be boring. Make sure you're always doing things. The reason I know that is because QT Marshall always does that himself. He always does the small things, even if he's just out managing the factory. So, Robyn has the big reach advantage in this match, even though Willow has the power and size advantage. So Robyn uses her reach advantage right away here, maybe even get a slight distraction from her twin sister on the outside, Charlette. So Robyn hits a big haymaker that rocks Willow here, but Willow does a cartwheel to just show that she's fine. Willow then hits a double overhand chop to the chest. That looked nasty. Willow follows that with a corner lariat and a mafia kick and a senton. Great little flurry from Willow, who then hits the ropes and crushes Robyn with a seated crossbody. Robyn's in trouble now, but able to block the next 2 attacks in a row. But Willow fires back with a big forearm. Robyn was rocked, but she grabs the referee, and this allows Charlette to hit a big kick to Willow's face from the outside. Referee didn't see it. Robyn then hits a nasty chest chop as a receipt from earlier where Willow two-handed both of her boobs. So Willow then reverses on a move and then hits more nasty chops. So wow, Robyn's getting her chest lit up in this one. Robyn then evades another mafia kick and then hits a backstabber for a 2 count. Really good match here. 2 good matches in a row to start out Dark. Willow then uses her power to get out of a headlock, then hits 2 clotheslines and a spine buster. So Robyn won't be able to survive very more big shots like that. Robyn rakes the eyes to get out of an attack, and Willow distracts the referee, saying, "Oh, my eyes." So this allows Robyn to use twin magic and switch out with her twin sister, Charlette, Renegade. And then they definitely, Charlotte will definitely be able to take more big shots than Robyn, who was on her last leg. So this should change the match around for the Renegade twins. Charlotte now hits 2 strikes and a fisherman suplex and almost wins the match here. She surprised Willow with that one. Now Willow hits a spine buster on Charlotte, who's now rocked as well. But Willow takes the straps down and hits the doctor bomb on Charlotte Renegade for the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Willow Nightingale. So Robyn was too hurt from earlier to even come in and complain that it wasn't the right person, or she just figured it would have been an automatic DQ anyway. So Charlette Renegade using twin magic, coming in, almost winning the match, but then easily getting defeated, costing Robyn a loss here. So that was a really good match. Robyn did look a lot better in the ring, and her and Charlotte joined Julia Hart and Anna Jay as the young guns in the women's division, along with Skye Blue as well. Out of all of them, I definitely think the Renegade twins could have the highest ceiling because they have just a really good swagger to them. They seem like as long as they can develop their in-ring stuff, I don't know how they good at promos, but they're just body language and charisma are really, really good for cocky, arrogant heels. So, yet just another reason why we should probably have AEW women's tag titles at a point. And like I said, great episode of Dark so far. 2 matches and already 20 minutes have passed. So out next is Serpentico, who has brand new music and brand new shoulder pad spikes. Maybe that'll help improve Serpentico's terrible 13-87 record. It definitely couldn't hurt. So no Luther tonight. Serpentico also has a new mask. It looks like Day of the Dead type stuff. So he's out next, accompanied by his father, the enforcer, Double A Arn Anderson, is young Brock Anderson. Brock has a 14-11 record, but is only 0-2 in singles matches, losing to Malachi Black and Bobby Fish. So this is only the 4th singles match in Brock Anderson's young career. He did beat former WCW and Ravens flock member Lodi, of all people, at a big-time wrestling event in Brock's first ever singles match. But then those other 2 was losing to Bobby Fish and Malachi Black. So this is Brock's 4th match ever in a singles match. Brock Anderson has the size and strength advantage in this one and gets wrist control and a nice arm drag takedown right away. Serpentico charges in and Brock takes him down with a headlock takeover, and then Serpentico gets out of a headlock with a strike. Brock hits a few kicks and a big punch here. Brock then throws Serpentico on the ropes and kicks the ropes just like his dad used to do. After that, Brock hits some Garvin stomps and Serpentico rolls out of the ring at this point. Brock goes after him, then Serpentico runs right into Arn Anderson, who hits a shoulder tackle, but it's not a DQ as Arn Anderson was just standing there ringside. Back in the ring now, Serpentico pokes the eyes of Brock Anderson and hits a thrust kick and a face buster. Then Serpentico mounts him on the mat for some punches. Serpentico hits a standing elbow drop, some chops, and some strikes in the corner. Serpentico then plays around a little bit too much here, allowing Brock to come in and attack. I guess Serpentico's not 13 and 87 for nothing. Then Serpentico's able to hit a flatliner, almost winning the match here. Brock then tries to fight back, but Serpentico hits a running back elbow. Then Serpentico plays around again before going up to the top rope. So Brock Anderson's able to evade the stomp attempt here. Then Brock Anderson hits the DDT. Brock was too hurt to make the cover, but goes on the attack after he gets up with a lariat, back elbow, and a side slam. Then Brock Anderson hits the double A spine buster for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Brock Anderson. Not a bad match at all here. Brock Anderson's still inexperienced, but is a natural in the ring for sure. Character-wise, it also made sense for Serpentico to be playing around too much. If you remember, usually Luther's at the outside the ring yelling at Serpentico to keep attacking. Now we know why. Luther always yells at him to keep attacking. We see what happens when Luther's not there. Poor Serpentico, probably going to be the first AEW person to get 100 losses. There's something for your record book. So now we get a surprise here as Abadon makes her return after a 3 months absence. So Abadon is actually 8-0 in singles matches in 2022, meaning she definitely could be close to the top 5 with a win tonight. Already in the ring is Valentina Rossi, who is 0-10 in AEW, and now AEW is calling her by the name simply as Mafiosa. So no more Valentina Rossi. She is known as Mafiosa. So Abadon starts this match with a face buster, but Mafiosa isn't scared of Abadon like most people. Abadon then Mafiosa hits a backstabber after this and follows it with some corner attacks. But Abadon shows some good agility here, evading attacks and then hitting a cutter out of nowhere. Abadon hits a thrust kick and a senton. Then Mafiosa hits some strikes, but Abadon counters into a sky high. Then Abadon hits the Black Dahlia DDT, which is her finisher, getting the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Abadon. So wow, our first squash match of the night, but both women looked good in this one. It was a short one, but they both looked good. And Abadon was busting out new moves, and she looked great. She had new hair going. Looks like she's been putting a lot of work in the gym. All signs of someone who's definitely hungry to prove that they belong. So you can definitely expect some big things from Abadon in the future. Adding moves to her moveset, looking good. Been spending time in the gym, got a new hairstyle, all that kind of stuff. So Abadon's definitely ready to be featured on TV, given the call. Now we get that cool new music from Angelico next as he comes out for his next match with a 6-3 record in 2022. Angelico is still part of the Andrade family office, but was not on Dynamite for the meeting that Andrade El Idolo had with Private Party and Butcher and the Blade. Also missing was Jora Joel. So Jora Joel and Angelico weren't at that meeting, but I'm pretty sure they're still part of the AFO. We've seen Angelico work with I think it was a 10-man tag, Angelico with Private Party and Butcher and the Blade. So Angelico's definitely still in the AFO, even though he wasn't at that meeting thing on Dynamite. So Angelico looks like he's been working hard in the gym as well. He's got like an 8-pack going. So his opponent already in the ring making his AEW debut is Baliyan Akki, who we have seen on Elevation a few times in the recent past, accompanying Emi Sakura. Akki is the tag team partner of Mei Suruga, who's the star pupil of Emi Sakura. We've seen Mei Suruga have matches here in AEW. I also definitely miss Lulu Pencil. Maybe she's busy writing a book because I don't think I've seen her on. I don't think she's been appearing at the Japanese promotion that Emi Sakura runs either. So Lulu Pencil, hopefully she comes back. I miss her and Mei Suruga. I would love to see him back at some point. So I've actually never seen a Baliyan Akki match, so this definitely has me intrigued. Akki is from India, but he wrestles in Japan. Angelico then starts with some amazing grappling, taking Akki down, but Akki is able to apply a hammerlock. So Angelico reverses it and hitting a flying mare. That looks really good. Akki then hits a leg kick and applies another hammerlock, but Angelico is able to take Akki down to the ropes. No clean break here from Angelico, who hits a back elbow. And that's because Akki blocked all of Angelico's attempts to reverse the hammerlock. Usually you never see anybody that's able to block the reversals of Angelico. So that does show that Akki does have some good technical wrestling to hang with Angelico here. And that's why Angelico did the somewhat dirty back elbow there, because he was so upset that he wasn't able to just easily counter the move. So Angelico now does a cross arm wrist lock that Taz was freaking out about. I've never seen that before, he says. It was pretty cool looking, but Akki is able to kick himself free, then hit a drop kick, followed by a big striking combo here with finishing with a thrust kick to the face. Aki's looking good in this match, but Angelico counters the next move and applies an octopus stretch. Akki can't even move an inch. He can't get anywhere close to the ropes or get out of this, and is forced to tap out from the pain. The winner of this match by submission, Angelico. So, wow, that was another really good squash match. Both guys look great, and the grappling and strikes were top notch in this match. And this has been a really good episode of Dark so far. Only 4 matches in out of the 13, but knowing that we've got 9 left to slog through in this match, let's see if they can continue with the good form or if it's just going to be a cram session. So out next is Emi Sakura, who has an 18-8 record in singles matches, and I guess this explains why she did not accompany Akki in the last match, since she had to get ready for her own match right after it. I was thinking it was kind of weird that Emi Sakura didn't accompany Akki for his first ever match, but this definitely explains it, like I said. Emi has reignited her feud against former student Hikaru Shida recently, but will step back out of that for a second for the first time in weeks. First match in out of 4 that it hasn't had Shida in the match with her. So her opponent already in the ring is Renee Michelle, who is 0-1 in singles matches this year, losing to Julia Hart 3 weeks ago on Dark. So if Renee couldn't get past 20-year-old Julia, she's definitely going to find it tough to get past the 27 years of experience that Emi Sakura has. So Emi starts the match by biting her hand. Then Emi throws her into the ropes hard and hits stomps in the corner. Once Renee gets up, Emi hits a hair beel and then applies the paradise lock. So Renee's trapped in the ball, and Emi drinks imaginary tea on her back. Then Renee hits some weak-looking forearms, so Emi answers back with a nasty chop to the big and exposed chest of Renee Michelle. So that was wild. Then Emi tells Renee to chop her, so Renee hits a chop, but Emi's chest isn't even exposed, and it wasn't nearly as hard. So Emi then rakes the cleavage here with her long nails. Then Emi's still fired up, I guess, from her renewed rivalry from Shida. Renee then does a weird kick while laying down. It looks pretty bad. Not sure about that one. Take it out of the arsenal. But then Renee evades an attack and hits a nice spin kick after that, does Renee Michelle. So Emi then goes down and is in trouble here. Renee gets up to the top rope and hits a missile drop kick, but Emi's just barely able to kick out at 2. That was a close call here. Emi Sakura now hits Crossroads of all things, and then the we will chop you chops in the corner, followed by the running crossbody also in the corner. So Emi then hits a draping version of the Queen's Gambit backbreaker, but instead of making the cover, does a middle rope splash here. Somehow Renee is able to kick out. Then Emi hits a double underhook spinning facebuster for the 1-2-3, or like a double underhook twisting facebuster for a 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Emi Sakura. And wow, that's a move we don't really see Emi Sakura bust out very often. It definitely seems as though the fire inside of Emi Sakura that's kind of been dormant for a few years now, has been reignited by Hikaru Shida in this rivalry. Also, maybe that just before this rivalry with Shida kicked back off a couple weeks ago, we had that amazing singles match between Emi Sakura and Toni Storm on Elevation 3 or 4 weeks ago. So maybe that combined with the Shida rivalry has really ignited the fire in Emi Sakura again, which is great to see. And maybe Emi can finally make it back to Dynamite before 1,000 days have passed since her last appearance back on the 11th ever episode of Dynamite, 965, 70 days ago. So anyway, Josh Woods now comes out next. He's got a record of 4-3 in 2022 and recently formed a tag team with Tony Nese. But Josh Woods will be back in singles action tonight as he comes out all alone for this one. Josh is high-fiving and taking photos with the fans, meaning that must have been a last-minute decision to turn Josh Woods heel a few weeks ago and join up with Nese. So the technical beast here and former ROH Pure Champion is looking for a dominant win tonight against his opponent, Ari in the Ring, Cobra, who is making his AEW debut. And no, it's not the Cobra from the mid-90s WCW. Never seen this guy before. Cobra's in the ring, and it had too generic of a name for me to find any information on him, but he does have some size to him. And he has an MMA fighting stance when he starts the match here. So I was thinking maybe this could be a good technical match. They both tie up and are even on strength. They're about the same size as well. So they tie up a second time. Nobody gets the advantage. Cobra wants to shake hands. Josh does shake hands, but Josh was expecting the sneak attack, which comes. So Josh is able to easily take Cobra down there. Cobra then hits some strikes to try and battle back, but Woods drops to a knee. After some hip attacks in the corner. Woods is a little hurt on that one. Josh ducks in 2 attacks in a row, however, and then Josh gets a takedown, hitting a stiff kick to the chest. Then Josh sets Cobra up on the ropes and hits a backbreaker, followed by a suplex, and then applies a nasty-looking armbar that forces Cobra to tap out. The winner of this match by pinfall, Josh Woods. The technical stuff in this match was nice, but it was way too short to get into. This was a fine match, but this is more of that average to below average stuff that you get on Dark sometimes. This was not a very good match, which is unfortunate because Josh Woods can definitely go. And this guy looked like he had some kind of good technical skills. Give them like one more freaking minute so they can do like 45 more seconds of technical stuff, and we might have had like something going here. But anyway, it was just so damn short. You really couldn't get into it. Nothing there, even like I can't tell you if it was good or not. It's just too short. Anyway, everything else up to this point has been pretty good so far. And there's going to be a couple matches like that when you have 13 matches crammed into an 85-minute show. So out next is Raju, who we saw last week on Dark in a tag team match lose to the Best Friends. So the former X Division champion from Impact, Raju, is 2-2 in singles matches this year. Raju has not been signed by AEW, but does have music and a promo segment a month ago on Dark. So maybe Raju is close to being signed. We don't know. Maybe one of those guys for an ROH, although Raju is 42 years old, so maybe he's just around for Dark and it won't be signed. Anyway, his opponent in the also a Dark regular already in the ring is Invictus Khash, who was actually Ari Davari's tag team partner before Ari formed the Trustbusters. So Invictus Khash is 0-1 in singles matches this year, losing to Dante Martin in his last AEW match period last May on Dark. So let's see if the 22-year-old Invictus Khash has improved since then. We did see Khash was about to have a main event match on NXT Level Up a few weeks ago, but that his opponent for that main event match, Duke Hudson, told him to leave. Duke wanted to wrestle someone else instead. So Rohit Raju's giving up some size in this match, but he'll have the speed and experience advantage over the 22-year-old, 20 years younger than him. So Khash hits a nice arm drag to start this match, but Raja goes to the throat right away. Khash then ducks under a roundhouse kick, but Raja follows that with a nice leg sweep, taking Khash down. That was a nice little exchange to start the match there. Raja then hits strikes in the corner and a snap suplex. Invictus Khash kicks out at 2, but Raja applies an armbar right after that, working on the shoulder of Khash here. So Raja then hits nasty forearm after that, 2 more, but that first one was super nasty. Khash not only survives that, but is able to hit a big rolling elbow strike. That was nasty too. We got a hard-hitting match here with some technical skills from both men as well. Rohit Raju now blocks a corner attack and leaps off the ropes, but Khash counters it with a dive and a punch. Invictus Khash now hits more strikes and knee lift with a nice power slam after that. So Khash is a great 22-year-old prospect with good technical skills, striking, and has some size to him. So definitely remember the name for Invictus Khash in the future. Rohit Raju then counters an attack with a jumping knee strike, and then Raju goes to the top rope, hitting the double stomp, getting absolutely all of it, and this gets the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Rohit Raju, and that was the best of the squash matches by far. The last 3 or 4 that were just plain squash matches. Those first 2 matches were great. They weren't squash matches at all. So really good stuff from both these guys. I think I was a little bit more impressed with Invictus Khash, to be honest, despite his loss here. But in the ring now is Tony Schiavone. He wants to interview Rohit Raju. So Raju is getting another chance to speak here. Tony Schiavone blows some smoke up his butt and then asks, "What's in the future for you?" Raju says, "Tony, you've been doing this a long time. You tell me what my future holds." Tony Schiavone then says, "Well, based on what I've heard from AEW and ROH officials, your future looks very bright." Rohit Raju then says, "Bright as in his mother calls him son, because it shines like one. You Nimrods walk outside, not paying attention to that beautiful sun. That's me, shining since day one, forever shining. It doesn't matter if it's dark or dynamite. Hell, you can't even spell Rohit without the letters ROH. I will find my success. Then you'll have no choice but to look up and pay attention to pro wrestling's brightest star, Rohit Raju." And then Raju leaves the big boos from the crowd. So that pretty much confirms that Rohit Raju is going to go to ROH at some point. They wouldn't have brought it up here if it wasn't. So hopefully they take Invictus Khash with them as well. I mean, not necessarily for a tag team, but invite Invictus Khash to ROH as well. So we got an interesting one next as the amazing Renegades twin music plays for the second time tonight. Unfortunately for Charlette Renegade, who already got pinned when she did Twin Magic, taking a big spine buster and a doctor bomb earlier. Now Charlette has her own scheduled match later on in the night, having already taken those big shots from Willow Nightingale when she switched with Robyn. So Robyn comes out as well. Here's the Renegade twins, and Robyn's also banged up from that match that she started and officially lost. So Charlette comes into this match with a 0-2 singles record in 2022, losing to Abadon and Emi Sakura. So I think these two twins are definitely going to be huge stars. Even after seeing them once tonight, they're just so super charismatic. They grab your attention as soon as they come out on the screen, and it's absolutely nothing about their looks. Like I said, they kind of already have Dante Martin's face to me, so it's kind of who, oddly enough, Dante Martin doesn't even have the same face as his twin brother Darius. So also oddly enough, Dante Martin's girlfriend Skye Blue comes out, and she'll be the opponent for Charlette Renegade here. So Skye Blue is the exact same age as the Renegade twins, 22 years old. Skye is a super babyface charm to her, where you really want to root for her and don't want to see her get hurt. And then which directly counters the cocky heel swagger of the Renegade twins. So this might be a classic rivalry in the next 20 years straight. So Skye Blue has been teaming with Ruby Soho lately, so maybe we'll get them against the twins at some point, especially if we ever get a real women's tag division with titles. So Skye Blue makes a rookie mistake on her entrance here. She didn't pose on the entrance stage long enough, so Skye Blue never got her nameplate shown with all the stats. Little rookie mistake there for Skye. But Skye Blue is 2-9 in singles matches in 2022. One of those wins was against Robyn Renegade back in January, so she gets the chance to beat both Renegade twins in this year by taking out Charlette tonight if she can. But Charlette is coming into this match weekend, having already, quote unquote, kind of wrestled a match this tonight already. I don't know why I did the quote unquote. Anyway, they tie up in a clean break from Charlette here, but she mocks Skye right after that, so that makes Skye mad. They trade weight locks now, and then Skye's able to counter an attack with a crossbody. Then Skye Blue hits 2 arm drags and then a bad-looking takedown by the ankle with a face buster. Not good on that one, but Skye hits a nice kick after that on her back to the face, so that was cool, getting a 2 count already. Remember, Charlette got beat up a little bit earlier on the show by Willow Nightingale. So Robyn then grabs Skye's leg that allows Charlette to get control here. The referee must not have seen it because Robyn Renegade was not kicked out. So Charlotte's hair has already fallen out of her bun. So now if they do twin magic, they'll have different hairstyles unless Robyn Renegade is smart on the outside and takes her hair down too. We'll have to wait and see. Charlette then hits a lariat and a fisherman suplex, only getting a 1 count on this one. Skye now fights back with some body punches while on her knees. Then Skye gets up and hitting some bigger forearms now. And then Skye hits a pretty bad looking springboard hurricanrana right after that. But I will say this, you're only going to get better through practice. This is the way more advanced stuff than we see Julia Hart or Anna Jay do, where all their squash matches are just the same 4 moves over and over, and they don't even take any bumps. This is the exact kind of match right now, but we're supposed to be done with these young prospects. Sure, a few moves are going to look bad, but eventually you'll start hitting those moves perfectly after practice and doing them and doing them and doing them. So then you can try for the next move, and now that's how you add moves to your move set. It's not like something that happens overnight. So I still don't understand what they're doing with Julia Hart and Anna Jay, where they just have the same squash match every single time. They're sure, maybe they're perfecting the 4 moves that they're going to use, but how about the whole rest of the match that you want them to eventually have? And then they don't take any bumps either, which wrestling isn't just the moves. You have to be able to take moves as well. So good stuff here. Skye Blue then hits a super kick, but Charlotte is just barely able to kick out. Charlette now hits an uppercut, and Skye hits a forearm, but another springboard move now looks a little bit better. It's a crossbody this time. Charlotte comes back with a Falcon Arrow. That looks pretty good. That gets a 2 count. This is a pretty good match. Skye Blue now hits a twisting neck breaker. That was nice as well. Charlotte rolls out of the ring on this one. So Robyn wants to do twin magic, but of course the referee knows it's the wrong twin because her hair is still up in the bun, while Charlotte's was her bun fell out and her hair was down. So rookie mistake here on a botched twin magic. All she had to do was take her hair down. But again, the Renegade twins are only 22 years old. They'll learn with time here. So Robyn Renegade gets ejected for this. Now Skye Blue counters a move and into a pin for a 2 count. Skye Blue then hits a super kick followed by a kind of bad looking, terrible actually, twisting flatliner for the 1-2-3. So the winner of this match by pinfall, Skye Blue. Big win here and a big match for Skye Blue. Yes, I kept saying that there was bad looking moves from Skye, but I already explained that it's a good thing to try moves because this was the best Skye Blue match I've ever seen. It wasn't just the basics. It had a lot of intermediate and advanced moves, and I can see big things for Skye Blue in the future, and she'll probably fly and lap right past Anna Jay and Julia Hart, who only have 1-minute squash matches where they don't take any bumps and they do the same 4 moves every single week. How are you ever going to get improved if you don't try things? So yes, Skye Blue tried at least 3 or 4 new things I haven't seen her do in this match. One of them hit, 2 of them were okay, and one of them was awful, but that's how you improve as a wrestler. In the meantime, Anna Jay and Julia Hart don't do anything different in their matches. They don't try to add things to their moveset. So how are they ever going to improve? So yeah, Skye Blue hit some bad looking moves in this match, but it was the best match and way better than anything I've ever seen out of Anna Jay and Julia Hart. So anyway, we go from the lovely Skye Blue to the not so lovely Bear Country. So these matches on Dark are always funny because Taz just has a ton of bear jokes. It's always hilarious, and they're in rare form yet again. I was laughing my butt off. So Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson come into this match with a tag record in 2022 of 4-3. Their 3 losses come in the Private Party, the Wingmen, and not the Wingman. They beat the Wingman. It was the Acclaimed, Private Party, and Dante Martin they lost to, and they beat the Wingman and Workhorsemen. So their opponents in the ring already is Axel, Rico, and Victor Iniestra. And this is Victor's AEW debut. His nickname is El Mero Mero. And then Alex has a 0-1 record, losing the Jora Joel at one point. So Bear Bronson and Alex Rico are going to start this match. Alex yells, "Nobody likes bears." So the crowd has a great chant here. "We like bears. We like bears." Great. Like every Bear Country match is just pure comedy. It's hilarious. So Alex now tries to chop. No effect here on the Big Bear. He tries to tag in, or he does tag in Victor, his partner. They try a double team here, but Bear Bronson hits them both down with a clothesline at the same time. Bear Boulder, who's even bigger than Bronson, now tags in. They hit a double team, ending with a big 300-pound splash from Boulder. Bronson is able to tag in now. He hits a Ron Simmons spine buster here, just like Farouk did, and then Alex breaks up the pin, but Victor chop blocks the knee once Alex had him distracted. Bear Bronson, that is. So Alex tags in. They hit a double team move with a backstabber and a sliding lariat combo. Alex then makes the cover, but Bear Boulder walks in from the apron, just deadlifts Alex right up, and then drops Alex down. That was awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of breaking up of the pin before. So Victor now tags in, and Bronson blocks the sunset flip by sitting down on it, and that was on the apron too. That was kind of nasty. So Bronson then hits a big lariat and tags out the Boulder, who tags both men. Um, Boulder tags in and hits both men with a double clothesline here. Then Boulder goes to lift both men up, but Victor could not flip up on his shoulders. I don't think it was Bear Boulder's fault. I think it was this Victor guy. So Boulder just slams Victor down to the mat because it wasn't going to work. And then Alex gets slammed on top of Victor right after that. Now Boulder sets them both up in the corners in a sitting position, tags in Bear Bronson, and they hit a 2-man cannonball senton with Bronson on the back of Boulder. That always looks great. And they crush 2 guys at the same time this time. So Bronson pins both men here for the 1-2-3 right after that. The winners of this match by pinfall, Bear Country. So Bear Country definitely have a lot of great double teams, and they should be featured more in AEW. It's great. We really only get to see them like once a month right now. So Taz and Excalibur had me in tears during this match, and that's another reason why we need more Bear Country matches, because they're always amazing, Taz and Excalibur, during Bear Country matches. So we got huge news next, as we've got an AEW debut with music and a full entrance. It is Kayla Rossi, who I thought had an incredible look, and I was wondering where she's been. If that name sounds familiar to you, Kayla Rossi was the bodyguard for Joey Janela during Joey Janela's feud against his former partner, Sonny Kiss. He brought in Kayla Rossi to be his bodyguard. Then when Joey Janela didn't re-sign with AEW, Kayla Rossi hasn't been seen since, and it would have been a shame to never see her again, because she's absolutely jacked. She's got muscles. She's beautiful. She looks like a star. But after many months, she makes a return here for her debut match. So I don't even know if Kayla Rossi's ever had a match before. I couldn't find out any information. So this should be pretty dang interesting. Also interesting is that Kayla Rossi is accompanied by this guy named Diamond Sheik, who Taz seems to know and says that he gets his jewelry from Diamond Sheik, but I don't remember ever seeing Diamond Sheik before. So Kayla Rossi has a manager here, like a jewelry type guy manager. He even takes a little necklace off of her before the match. So he's got a good look to him as well with a flashy outfit. So also, this probably explains why Valentina Rossi had to have her name changed earlier when she was just referred to as Mafiosa. And we've seen that happen before. That's why I know that's why it was changed, because we've seen it before where the wrestler Brittany Jade, when she wrestles in AEW, they only call her Brittany, which is dumb. Because there's multiple Adams and multiple Pages on the roster already. Why would she have to not be called Brittany Jade just because you have a Jade Cargill on the roster? Are they really going to confuse the two? Like, nobody asks if Ethan Page is Adam Page's brother. Like, I've never heard that ever come up. People aren't that dumb that you have to like hide their names if it's similar to someone that's on the roster. So anyway, I mean, Mafiosa is a good name though. I'm not going to lie. So I was really excited for this one. Then Kayla Rossi jumps up on the apron like Brock Lesnar. So now I'm super excited to see how this one goes. Already in the ring is her Kayla Rossi's opponent, Avery Bro, spelled just like Parker Boudreaux with the Cajun spelling. Avery Bro, who is 0-3 in AEW, who lost last match. Was weirdly, she teamed with the other Rossi, the Mafioso one, Valentina Rossi. So she'll take on the other Rossi, Kayla Rossi here. That match where she teamed with the Mafioso was against the Renegade twins in a loss. So Avery Bro's nickname is the Mardi Gras Mamba. So maybe her yellow and gold outfit is both for Mardi Gras and the Lakers. Maybe a big Kobe fan like the Black Mamba. So anyway, let's see how the powerhouse Kayla Rossi does in her very first match. I think it was her very first match. So Kayla throws Avery around with ease, showing that her power is very unmatched in this one. Kayla might be 3 or 4 times stronger than Avery Bro. So Avery uses her speed to evade some attacks here, but Kayla hits a nasty spine buster, and Avery is already looking like it's going to be a rough night for her against the very inexperienced powerhouse. That slam looked like it hurt. Avery then hits a forearm, but Kayla catches a crossbody attempt, does a bicep curl just like Brian Cage does. Then Kayla lifts her up for a Samoan drop. Then Kayla nips right up and hits a standing moonsault. That looked great. Kayla Rossi's definitely a great athlete. Then Kayla makes the cover, but lifts Avery Bro's head up. She wants to give her more punishment. So Avery counters a suplex attempt here, hitting an enziguri kick. Then the Diamond Sheik is on the apron, distracting Avery Bro, and Kayla hits a lariat and then a very nasty looking jackhammer for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Kayla Rossi. So holy crap, Kayla is so dangerous in the ring at her current experience level with her current power level. So somebody has to get in her ring with her so that Kayla can improve. Otherwise, she'll never improve. But wow, Avery Bro is going to need an ice bath after this one. That jackhammer was rough looking. But given time to develop, I think we could be seeing a huge star in the future of wrestling in Kayla Rossi. She has an amazing look to her. She looks like she could be the new age China if they play their cards right. But at her given experience, it's definitely going to be dangerous to get in the ring with Kayla Rossi. She basically absolutely destroyed with reckless abandon Avery Bro in this match. So coming out next is the secret weapon of the wingmen. It's Cesar Benoni, who comes in with a 2022 singles record of 0-2. Those losses were the Wardlow earlier in the year and just last night on Elevation to Konosuke Takeshita. But that was one of Cesar's best matches ever, and he does seem to be improving. So Cesar spent 4 years in NXT without really ever getting on TV other than maybe 1 or 2 squash match losses, even at his size. So there must not have been much improvement. Hopefully at the age of 36, Cesar can put together a nice little career because he does have an amazing look. He looks like a monster, but still has some agility as he played soccer in Brazil growing up, giving him good footwork for a 6'6", 270-pound guy. So Cesar Benoni is accompanied by fellow wingmen Pretty Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth. Already in the ring is his opponent Marcus Cross, who we last saw 7 weeks ago on Elevation lose the Fuego del Sol, and which is not good because Cesar is about 3 times larger than Fuego. Marcus Cross has a 2022 singles record of 0-2, also losing to Anthony Ogogo back in January. His nicknames are the Latin Fire and the White Flame. And in the past, Marcus has had the Super Saiyan haircut where it's all up and in yellow. But for the second time in a row now that we've seen him in AEW, Marcus Cross just has his hair down, making him not quite as cool and not standing out as much. Marcus is going to have to avoid some big slams in this one because he's a lot smaller than Cesar Benoni. But Marcus tries the Irish whip. Weirdly, I don't know why he would try that, but Cesar, of course, blocks it with his big, massive power and size. Marcus is then able to block the next attack, however, but then Cesar launches Marcus across the ring with a nasty-looking deal. Marcus then runs away for a little bit and hits a jumping knee strike when he comes back in, but it only hits the massive chest. He couldn't even get up to his chin. So Cesar then hits a draping stomp and a huge toss that was actually scary to watch, just like picking him up and throwing him as hard as he could all the way across the ring. And that was probably absolutely terrifying for Marcus Cross. So Cesar now hits a big punch. Marcus has a little bit of fight back with some strikes, but Marcus goes for a springboard back elbow. It connects, but on a second attempt, he gets caught, and Cesar hits a nasty tilt-a-whirl slam for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Cesar Benoni. So, wow, 2 matches in a row ending with scary big slams that looked rough, painful, and sketchy. So Cesar still sketchy with his moves after so many years of experience. Kayla Rossi at least had the excuse of saying it was their first match ever. But Cesar, like I said, had 4 years in the NXT product, and now he had a couple years before that as well, and now has had a couple years in the AEW product. Still doesn't seem to be improving that much, and is still kind of sketchy on those big power moves. But here's the thing. 36 is not too old. The only proof you need is look at what Lance Archer did, from how much he improved from the ages of like 35 to now he's 46. Think about how good Lance Archer got in the last 11 years. He was like a joke character in TNA in the Rock and Rave Connection, carrying a Guitar Hero guitar out to the ring. And then he turned into an amazing guy doing amazing things. So maybe that's somebody that Cesar Benoni needs to hook up with, is Lance Archer. He might know how to take that next level. But here's what Cesar Benoni needs to do. He needs to work a ton of indie dates to get better. If he works like 10 matches a month for the next 6 months, getting 60 matches in 10 months, I could see him improving for sure. But if it's only going to be, maybe 3 or 4 matches a month, if that, then you're never going to improve, bro. So it is main event time. And we got some awesome stuff here, as not only is Blake Christian in this match, he now has his own music and entrance now. So Blake Christian is one of the best young prospect currently unsigned. Definitely probably in the top 10, 25 and younger, as he is 25 years old. So I would definitely love to see Blake Christian on the new ROH show if that ever happens. But maybe we'll start to get some ROH news the week of All Out, which is only 2 weeks away. We're less than 2 weeks away from that whole week before, and then it's 2 weeks from this Sunday is All Out. So that whole week is in Chicago, and we'll probably get news about ROH at that event. And I still hate that Blake Christian cut his hair short. He definitely stood out more with the long hair. But what are you gonna do? Blake Christian comes into this match with a 2022 singles record of 1-2. He beat Rohit Raju, but then lost to Jay Lethal and Ari Davari. So Blake's nickname is All Heart. And oh boy, is he going to need all heart, because Blake Christian's in for a tough time tonight as he takes on the number 2 ranked man in the singles division with a 2022 singles record of 10-2. It is Powerhouse Hobbs. Immediately, Taz mood changes as he doesn't like what Hobbs did to Ricky Starks, and Taz is mad this entire match. The 2 singles losses that Powerhouse Hobbs had this year was the Keith Lee and Dante Martin. So Blake is kind of similar to Dante Martin, so maybe he can find some similar success. However, this is a different Hobbs than the one we saw lose to Dante Martin back in January. So like I said, this is the main event of this week's episode of Dark, and Blake Christian rolls out of the way of attacks 3 times in a row here, but eventually Hobbs is going to catch him, and he does. But Blake counters and charging Hobbs 3 times in a row here, getting a big boot up. Then Blake hits a top rope missile drop kick, and Hobbs crushes Blake with a lariat right after that. So holy crap, Blake Christian cannot take too many more of those big shots. Hobbs now hits a backbreaker twice in a row and just throws Blake away like yesterday's garbage. Then Blake hits some weak body punches while on his knees. Hobbs picks up Blake by setting him up on the top rope now and hits a clubbing blow to Blake's chest, knocking him down to the mat. Blake then gets set into the other corner neck first here, then rolling out of the ring, but Hobbs follows him out there. Hobbs hits a suplex twice in a row into the ring post, like a vertical suplex type deal, hitting his back into the ring post 2 times in a row. All heart is going to be tested tonight. Is Blake going to be able to fight back, or will his body fail his heart? So Hobbs now drags Blake Christian around and then throws him back into the ring. But Blake does have some heart left in him, hitting a thrust kick as Hobbs is about to come in. Now Hobbs is draped over the rope. Blake hits some multiple knee strikes in a row here, like 4 or 5, maybe even 7 in a row. And then holy crap, Blake Christian comes off the top rope with a 450 splash to the back of Powerhouse Hobbs, who was still draped across the ropes. But Powerhouse Hobbs kicks out at 1, then absorbs an enziguri kick and hits a spine buster, getting the 1-2-3. Thanks for coming, Blake Christian. Unlucky. I'm the winner of this match by pinfall, Powerhouse Hobbs. Hobbs is pointing at Blake, who's looking out cold and talking trash to Ricky Starks in the camera. So I'm guessing that's going to be an all-out match. We're only, like I said, about 2 weeks away from All Out, and that's definitely going to be when that match happens. That's going to be a good one, too. I don't even know who's going to win, Powerhouse Hobbs or Ricky Starks. They both could use the win, that's for sure. And somebody has to win, so I guess it would probably be Powerhouse Hobbs. If people are usually, when you have 2 people, you can't decide who should win. Then you go with the heel and have them win by cheating. But we'll see how it goes. So that ends this week's episode of Dark. Overall, I give this one a thumbs up for sure. There was definitely a lot of developments. It had some good matches as well. Some of the squash matches are actually good as well. But like the first two matches took up the first entire 20 minutes. So 2 10-minute matches to start out. The main event wasn't much, but it did have a good David versus Goliath battle. It just wasn't very long, but it makes sense because Blake Christian couldn't survive all those big shots that Powerhouse Hobbs was giving them. So that concludes this Dark. looking ahead to Dynamite this week, it should be pretty good. Every single person expects Kenny Omega to be the Young Bucks partner and returning for the first time since Kenny Omega lost to Hangman. So it's going to be a good one. We also got a 2 out of 3 falls fight, the Dragon Slayer versus the American Dragon, with the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as the ring commentator. So this is like a Dragon Games of Thrones Dragon something special episode of Dynamite, but it has, along with it comes a bunch of cool fiery dragon graphics. So I assume since it's dragon themed, we'll also have some kind of new development with Luchasaurus as well. And that'll have to be another all-out match, wouldn't it? Christian versus Jungle Boy, and then that's probably when we'll find out who Luchasaurus sides with. So I'm gonna get going. This was a pretty good episode of Dark, like I said. Oh, hey, thanks for watching. But I'm gonna get going. So thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with a live review of Dynamite later tonight. So it looks like a great episode, and I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a lot of developments. The trios tournament starts. Maybe Kenny Omega returns, and who knows what else we might get. But that American Dragon versus Dragon Slayer match should be good. 2 out of 3 falls. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.